Do we know about accents and language, especially when they're just about American accents all over?
I was just thinking about
Dude,
that same
part
thing
blew
when
my
they said
fucking
it.
mind. It makes all accents make so much sense.
Why?
When they said that the Australian accent was just drunk British people, kids being around drunk British criminals, that's why the Australian and New
How
Zealand...
it formed?
I don't understand any accents.
So you're
Explain.
saying all accents are related to alcohol?
Yep, it all makes so much sense now.
my.
It all makes so much sense. All they drank was wine forever, right?
So accents just come from like people being drunk and slurring words the same, and then other people like I don't
think
get it.
about Scottish, Irish, Welsh. It all makes so much sense.
So why is like an Italian accent Italian?
Red wine?
No, because Italy's like I think Italian's a very old Latin language.
It
Isn't
must
Like
be
Rome's
where
been around
you come
forever.
from. It must be location that dictates,
But
not the
Is
drunkenness.
it the different kind of alcohol they drink in each state? Specifically America, how so a New York accent to
No,
a
I think you're
Texas
exactly?
accent
So is that whiskey as opposed to like
No,
beer?
I think you're doing it wrong. It's that you have these drunks in New York for like 20 years, and as people slowly move out, they have an accent, and that
Well,
accent.
there definitely was a time when everyone was drunk.
New York. Yeah, keep going. So tell me. So we got
I'm just
New
saying,
York here.
Simon, as you spread out,
Yeah.
that accent, that New York accent spreads out, right? But
Yeah.
you have different people and different drunks. Like all it takes is, I mean, we all know someone who has like an interesting cadence
So
or
this
voice,
guy
right?
starts slurring his New York, and then somebody in Philly hears it.
Not
and-
hears it. He moves. He ends up in Philly, and he has a bunch of kids, and they all are the predominant fan. You know what I mean? And I think that's this is what I'm working out. At least it makes the most sense to me.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not. Just the idea of different.
It makes more sense because we know about sign
Accents.
language.
Got to me. I was like, wow, that's crazy when you start thinking about that. How.
I mean, if we really like, let's do an Adam and Eve thing. If it really just was like two people, accents make no sense, right?
Like state by state, let's say.
Yeah.
You know, you have New York and
Dude, there's
Boston.
New York, Boston,
just New York,
Philly,
and New,
Chicago.
New York and Boston. They're 4 hours from each other,
I don't even think it's that far.
and they have wildly different accents. Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
I'd need somebody to explain that to me. I'm not.
Well, here, think about it like this. New York had, like, Boston was predominantly Irish, right?
Oh, that would have been it. Okay, gotcha.
Whereas New
yeah.
York, you had a lot of Jews, you had Italians, you had Irish.
I didn't
so,
like the way you said that, but yeah, go on.
But-
you say Jewish people.
But you understand, it becomes a melting pot.
Yeah, no,
kids grow up
for
around
sure.
a Yiddish person, an Italian, a Polish guy.
I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, that totally makes sense. That's how you would get these different.
And that's why you have like Cajuns, because the French were there, right? So it's this weird bastardized, like,
I mean,
I'm in a
sti-
bow, baby.
I still don't understand that. How does French and you know what I'm saying? Why does it become Cajun?
because think about it, like, okay, so the French Canadians grew up around like Ontario English speaking people, but if you like, let's say there's a Southern accent and you're French, you end up with Cajun, right? Does that like?
Is that just how that works?
Well, yeah.
We're
Think
just
about it.
making it up,
Think about it.
man.
Some French guy sleeps with some down south Southern belle, and they have a kid, and that kid grows up with this French speaking dad and this Southern mom, and he ends up like, whoa,
Yeah.
how'd I do there?
Yeah.
Foghorn Leghorn, like Buddy in
I do declare.
in The Glass Onion.
Yeah. I do declare.
He plays a gay detective.